Hi, Grace here. Good morning. Just coming to you. Again, we're going to fix the lights. Coming to you with today's topic. Did you know? Well, I've been hearing a lot of talk about with winter, the skin and hair and body and so dry and cracked skin and all this stuff. Well, I'm just going to make one little adjustment if I can. I don't know, is that any better? Anyway, I want to talk about the 5 major reasons why you have dry skin. And one of the things, this was taken from an article that was written by Chrissy Calhoun, I'm sorry. And I wanted to just go through the 5 points. The number one reason why your skin seems dry, it doesn't, you can't put your makeup on because it's flaking, whatever. And always, any of these things I'm talking about can be something more serious, but some of these things, like I said, if something continues after you've tried to do something about it, then that's when it's time to see a physician. The number one reason is dehydration. And here's the thing, dehydration means not only we're going to talk about moisturizer versus hydration, but you need to drink a lot of water. I'm in Arizona and it is always so dry that you have to have water with you almost at all times. And if you also want to quench your skin, the thing is that when it's hot and dry, you need to hydrate your skin. Now, moisturizer is one thing, okay? And it usually sits kind of on top of the skin and does some surface moisturizing. But moisture versus hydration, the hydration is actually something that your skin absorbs much deeper than the moisturizer. And the order in which you use any kind of products for your face or skin should be, you should do the serums. So usually a hydration product is usually some sort of a serum, an oil, and then creams. And you want to go from very light in weight to the heavier products. And then always, always, always end with a sunscreen, because that's going to help you prevent any kind of skin cancers or premature aging. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, every morning. The second thing is diet. I think we all know a little bit about that. There's certain foods that can cause inflammation. And by inflammation, I don't mean like, a swollen finger or swollen toe. Inflammation is a word for cells in your body reacting to a stimulus. It can cause, on a cellular level, it can cause a lot of congestion of fluids. It can keep your skin from not absorbing things well. When inflammation happens, whether it's on the skin, inside, then it's gonna show on the outside. Now, here's a little, I don't know, maybe not a little known fact, but did you know that the largest organ in the body is the skin? It's what protects us from the external environment. It is what covers all of our other organs, which are so important. So it's extremely important to really take seriously how to, taking care of your skin. So we've got dehydration, diet. Now, diet, they talk a lot about glycemic index, high glycemic index, and I've talked about that before in regard to weight loss or controlling your cravings and things like that. But high glycemic, which means high in sugars, can actually lead to some acne. Now, if you're not cleansing properly and you're not taking care of your skin, and but your diet's good, you've got half of it's settled. So dairy products is another thing. Excuse me, including skim milk. It can stimulate oil production in areas you don't want it. You guys, I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous. Anyway, the third, so we've got hydration, diet, and then we've got the lymphatic system. And what the lymphatic system does, extremely important, is it just rids our body of toxins and keeps the good blood circulating and keeps everything moving through the body. This is also the way that some diseases can spread. So it's important that the lymphatic system is healthy. So if you have like dull, dry skin that suddenly turns kind of blah or very, very pale, that is an indication that there might be some problems with the lymphatic system. So there's a fluid buildup. The lymphatic system is what flushes the system, and there might be, if you have there should be like when you put products on, okay, or if you have a facial, you are literally massaging the face, okay? So that's going to help rid you of any kind of puffiness or any kind of issues with dryness. So that's the third, the lymphatic system. Very important. Number 4, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, is hormonal changes. You gals that are still of childbearing age that are having menstrual periods, your hormones go up and down during your cycle. Same thing with menopausal women or postmenopausal, perimenopausal. It's a lot of times you can get adult acne, believe it or not, and it has less to do with it does have something to do with your what's going on in your skin, but it also has a lot to go. It goes back to the whole what you put in your body, but your body reacts in chemical reactions. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever is going on inside your body, like I said again, all these things kind of tie in, like drinking enough water, having a good diet, making sure that your lymphatic system is in tip-top shape, and you can do that by facial massage. Total body massage is also another way of stimulating the lymphatic system. However, because there's some other serious things that can be wrong with the lymphatic system, then if this is more than, it could be just more than dull, dry skin, it could be more than a fluid buildup. If it doesn't go away with your changes in your diet and changes in the way that you handle your skin, then you really need to seek medical attention, because the lymph system is also what keeps the rest of our body healthy as well. So lymph, hormonal changes, and then the 5th one is that you're too harsh on your skin. Back in the day, I can remember using straight alcohol as an astringent. You don't hear the word astringent anymore. They have a lot of companies or a lot of products include a toner. Now, all toners are not created equal. Some toners may have some alcohol in it, and therefore going to be stripping your skin of the good oil. You want some of that oil and moisture and hydration. You don't want it to be stripped from your skin, because then what that does is that stimulates acceleration of oil to be produced, which causes blackheads and blemishes. So everything, you notice everything has to kind of be balanced. So you want to avoid also any kind of inflammation, and that could be foods. You want to avoid Romeo. So you want to stay away from other things that can cause inflammation, like saunas, steam rooms, being really rough on your skin. I mean, even it's very important to use an exfoliator as one of your first steps to cleansing your skin, but you don't want to sandpaper it, okay? So if you're using products with an exfoliation cleanser, just make sure you're following the directions. Make sure that you're mixing it with water first and then cleansing. You don't have to sandpaper your face in order to exfoliate the dead skin cells, which is really good for your skin. So in closing, here's the thing. I have a lot more information about taking care of your skin. I'm passionate about taking care of my skin, taking care of your body, eating well, all those things that are really, really difficult for a lot of people to do. I have a really, really strong interest in that, and probably will be bringing you more along those lines, unless I have someone suggest another type of another subject matter. But to recap, and we're just going to recap and then I'm going to sign off, is the why your skin, why do I have dry skin? And I just heard that from one of my sisters, okay? They live back in Missouri, where it's like really, really cold, and back there in the summertime it's so humid, it can be like 99% humidity but not be raining. I don't understand that, but it is really humid, and those of you who live in a humid climate know what I'm talking about. But in the winter it gets very dry and cold, and it's very hard on your skin, the wind factor and all that. So the 5 things that cause dry skin, besides aging, and all of us want to look young. So, you know, aging, some people don't care, and that's fine too. Me, I'm kind of vain, I will admit it. So I do whatever I can to keep my skin and my body and my mental ill health in good shape. So the 5 things that cause dry skin. Number 1, dehydration. So that means drink more water, and the difference between hydration and moisture. Moisturizers are usually a heavy cream. A hydration product is going to be more of a serum that is penetrated down into the skin and acts more on a cellular level. Very important. Number 2 is diet. You have to have a balanced diet. I mean, obviously fried foods, I mean, not really good for anybody. Let's face it. But you want to watch the balance in your diet. I'm a huge proponent of reading labels and making sure that you are eating pure foods, but also you have to watch that glycemic index. Glycemic index is an indication, actually it's some foods, I mean, obvious things like a candy bar is going to have a lot of sugar in it, but if you look at other products, they can also be very high in sugar. There's a lot of sugar and even some of those protein drinks or some of those drinks that you're taking and you're doing it either at home or at the juice bar or whatever. Just be careful, because I always like to know how much sugar is in that product, because it could have some other really good stuff in it, like like protein and everything, but it could have sugar. So the other thing too is dairy. For those of you, and I love cheese and I love milk, and I personally have changed from cow milk, if you will, to almond milk, and again, you have to watch the sugars in that, but from the standpoint of the dairy, it can kind of, believe it or not, dairy it's kind of weird, because if you have a cold, it can actually stimulate production of secretions such as, gosh, I'm trying to think of a nice word to say this. I'm thinking phlegm. But it does create more problems, stimulate oils in the skin, bad oils, not the good ones. So watch the diet. Okay, the third, oh gosh, I always go along in these. You guys, just stick with me, okay? Lymphatic system, which will cause dry, dull skin. The lymphatic system is what carries all the nutrients and all the bad stuff throughout the system. And it's also very important that if there is something going on with your lymphatic system, like fluid buildup, obvious inflammation, you need to see your doctor if it doesn't go away, because it could be an indication of something much more serious than just kind of a system that's just not quite working well. There can be some really other implications. So when you put products on, they're suggesting, Chrissy Calhoun is suggesting massage. Now think about this. When you are using, I've actually had people tell me they don't wash their face. No judgment whatsoever. However, there's a reason for it. Not just to get the skin clean, not to get the oils off and all the bad stuff off, but when you're putting stuff on, especially if you're doing an exfoliant, you are massaging your face. So you're not only washing the face, but you're also helping the lymphatic system to move the toxins through so that the good stuff can be delivered to the skin and to where it needs to be. The fourth thing out of the 5 is hormonal changes. Won't go into that. We all know what that is. Either if you have menstrual periods, if you're in childbearing years, your hormones are gonna be like up and down. Your body produces 30 milligrams of progesterone normally. Okay, normally, like women of childbearing. When you get pregnant, that number goes from 30 to 300. Thus, progestation. It's what keeps the baby vital, and it helps with the whole process of pregnancy and birth and creating a human being. But it can cause problems with breakouts, increased oil, and also if you're premenopausal, perimenopausal, menopausal, that also can create adult acne. And it really is something that's, you're thinking, oh gosh, I feel like I'm 16 again, But anyway, the 5th thing that's bad, why your skin is dry, is you're being too harsh on your skin. Now, good products are very important. Some may be not a little bit pricey, but you've got to use good products, and you've got to combine the products that you use in terms of, like I was saying, you want to avoid inflammatory or inflammation. And that can be caused, like I was talking about, exfoliation and massage of the face, which can be good. But you don't want to take sandpaper to your face and try to get all those dead skin cells out. You want to be gentle, okay? And you want to be gentle and consistent. Consistency is the key. You want to go ahead. You don't have to take all the dead skin cells off on one day. The other thing is you want to that products that are really good, the really good products a little goes a long way. So I think the biggest infraction for being too harsh on the skin is people using way too much product, cleanser or toner. And toner is not the same thing as an astringent. So if you came in late, I was going over that. It's used to be that toners had like alcohol in them, and so it would strip the skin. We don't want to strip the skin. That's also very, very harsh. So anyway, that is my subject for today, why your skin is dry. Hope this has been helpful. I hope that this has brought you some value. And if so, I would love to hear from you guys, and I would like to get a thumbs up or a like, or please feel free to share. Also catch me on my YouTube channel, which is Life According to Grace. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, and bye. Almost Friday, you guys.